On April 25th, 6 days before Miami, Christian Horner walked into the Honda factory garage at the MotoGP Spanish Grand Prix in Jerez. Not as a team principal, as a free agent. His 9-month gardening leave ended on April 9th. He has no job, no team, no confirmed next move. And he spent the final practice session of the weekend in conversation with Koji Watanabe, the CEO of Honda Racing Corporation, the same Honda that is working around the clock at Sakura trying to fix the engine that has made Aston Martin the slowest car on the Formula One grid. 0 points from 3 races, 1 classified finish. A vibration problem that forced Alonso to take both hands off the steering wheel in China. A team principal who never wanted the job. And a Honda fix that worked on Friday at Suzuka, then was removed overnight because it was not reliable enough to race. 6 days to Miami. Horner is in the Honda garage. Subscribe to F1 Perspective. Let's go through exactly where Aston Martin are and what Horner's Jerez appearance actually means. The numbers tell the story. Australia, both cars retired. China, Alonso took both hands off the wheel, approaching a braking zone at racing speed, then retired. Stroll retired separately from a battery failure. Japan, Alonso finished 18th, 1 lap down. Stroll did not finish. That is Aston Martin's entire 2026 season so far. Last in the Constructors' Championship alongside Cadillac, the brand new entry whose position at the back was always expected. Nobody expected Aston Martin to be there. This is a team with exclusive Honda Works partnership, Adrian Newey's design, and a state-of-the-art campus at Silverstone. George Russell called the car pretty spectacular at the Barcelona shakedown. The gap between that description and the current reality tells you everything about why the space between an impressive concept and a competitive racing car is the most dangerous gap in motorsport. The vibration problem is the headline. But it is a symptom, not the cause. The cause is a destructive interaction between the Honda power unit's combustion frequencies, the MGUK's electrical loading, and the AMR26's carbon fiber structure. A 2-deck battery concept makes isolating the source significantly harder. That combination will not be fully resolved in 6 days. Shintaro Orihara's video from Sakura this week confirmed Honda and Aston Martin engineers have been working together continuously since Japan. The word he chose is important. Countermeasures, not solutions, not fixes. A countermeasure reduces the impact of a problem without eliminating its cause. The vibration source, a destructive resonance between the power unit and the AMR26 chassis, requires changes to the power unit's fundamental architecture to address properly. Those changes are either homologation restricted or require FIA approval. What Honda can do faster is better isolation between the power unit and battery, improved mounting interface, and revised damping. The most revealing moment of the entire 2026 Aston Martin story is what happened at Suzuka. Honda's countermeasures ran on Friday. Alonso drove 34 laps. He said the car felt 80% better, nearly no vibration. On Saturday morning, the countermeasures were gone, removed overnight because they were not reliable enough to race. Alonso did not know. He described it as random. He was, as far as he knew, correct. The gap between working in controlled conditions and surviving a full race distance is exactly what Honda have had 5 weeks to close. Whether they have closed it, that is what Miami's first practice session will answer. Adrian Newey became Aston Martin's team principal as an interim arrangement. Andy Cowell stepped back after finding Newey's working style incompatible with his own. Newey never wanted the role. His preference throughout his career has been to design cars. Jonathan Wheatley, expected to take the permanent role, is still serving gardening leave from his Audi contract. He is not available before August. That leaves a 5-month gap in which Aston Martin are being led by someone who does not want to lead them. The results speak clearly. 0 points, 1 finish. Internal sources describe to multiple outlets a team where staff question whether the AMR26's problems are solvable within the current regulatory framework. The official line is that Newey focuses on the car, Crack handles trackside operations, and the arrangement works. But the gap between the official line and what paddock sources describe is wide enough to drive the AMR26 through, if it could complete a full lap. The structural question is simple. Can Newey design a car and lead a team simultaneously in a crisis? The first 3 races suggest the answer is no. Not because Newey is incapable, he is one of the most accomplished engineers in the history of the sport, but because leading a Formula One team in a crisis requires a different set of skills than designing one. And right now, Aston Martin need both at the same time. Horner's Jerez appearance matters for 3 reasons. First, the Aston Martin link. He was connected to the team as a potential team principal before the season. Lawrence Stroll shut that down in November. But that was before China, before Japan, before the scale of the problem became visible. Sky Sports' Karan Chandhok said it directly this week. In Formula One, If someone can help the organization win, damaged relationships get repaired. Second, the Honda dimension. Horner built a deep personal relationship with Honda's leadership during the years they powered Red Bull. 4 drivers' titles, 2 constructors' titles. Koji Watanabe, the HRC CEO he was seen with on Saturday, is someone Horner has known for years. Honda is under enormous pressure from the Aston Martin situation. A figure with Horner's institutional knowledge of how Honda works, what motivates their engineers, how to manage the partnership, would be valuable regardless of specific role. Third, the timing. Gardening leave ended April 9th. 16 days later, he is in conversation with the CEO of the engine manufacturer powering the team he has been linked to. Whether that is planning or coincidence is something only Horner and Watanabe know, but in Formula One, very little happens by coincidence. Crack said Miami would be different. He said the vibration conversation would be over. That is a bold claim for a team whose countermeasures were not race-ready the weekend before they made it. The honest assessment of what Miami represents for Aston Martin is not about points. It is not about qualifying position. It is about whether both drivers can complete a full race distance without the vibrations becoming physically damaging. That is the baseline, not performance, survival. The ADUO window that was supposed to open before Miami has been pushed to after Monaco. Performance upgrades are months away. The chassis deficit, independently estimated at 2.3 seconds of qualifying pace, majority from the chassis not the engine, cannot be closed mid-season. What can change at Miami is the vibration picture. If Honda's 5 weeks of work at Sakura has produced countermeasures that survive race conditions, both drivers finish. That is progress. If it has not, Aston Martin arrive at race 5 with the same fundamental problem they had at race 1. And the Horner question, whether he ends up at this team at Alpine or somewhere else entirely, will become more urgent with every race that passes without a result. Miami does not solve Aston Martin's problems. It tells us how deep they actually are. 0 points from 3 races, a vibration fix that worked once and was removed the same night. A team principal designing a car he cannot find time to race manage, a Honda power unit that is damaging the physical health of its drivers, and the man most linked to fixing all of it, sitting in the Honda garage at a MotoGP race 6 days before Miami, in conversation with the CEO of the engine manufacturer powering the team he has been linked to since July 2025. Aston Martin's crisis is not getting better in the paddock, it is getting louder. The internal questions about whether the AMR26 is fundamentally solvable are not going away. The ADUO window that was supposed to offer relief is months away. The chassis deficit that sits underneath the engine problem, 2.3 seconds of qualifying pace, majority from the carbon fiber not the combustion, cannot be addressed by any regulation permission or management reshuffle. What Miami can answer is the smallest and most immediate question in this story, not whether Aston Martin can score points, not whether Newey's car has the potential his career suggests is possible, not whether Horner ends up at this team, at Alpine or somewhere else entirely. Simply, can both drivers complete a full race distance without taking their hands off the steering wheel? That is the baseline. That is where this project is on April 25, 2026. And if the answer at Miami is no, if the vibrations are still there, if one or both cars retire again for the same reasons, then the conversation about what comes next gets significantly harder to avoid. Subscribe to F1 Perspective, race day coverage May 1st.